Title: Lost in Neverland. Chapter 1: The Disappearance. Once upon a time, in a small town called Kensington, there lived a young boy named Peter. He was a mischievous and adventurous child, always seeking new thrills and excitement. Peter's mother, Mrs. Darling, loved her son dearly but often found it challenging to keep up with his boundless energy. One fateful night, as the moon shone brightly over Kensington, Peter's bedroom window creaked open, and a magical figure appeared. It was Tinker Bell, a tiny fairy with shimmering wings. She had come to whisk Peter away to a place called Neverland, a land of eternal youth and endless adventures. As Peter flew away with Tinker Bell, Mrs. Darling rushed into her son's room, only to find an empty bed. Panic gripped her heart as she realized her beloved Peter was gone. Determined to find him, she embarked on a journey that would take her to the farthest corners of her imagination. Chapter 2: The Enchanted Forest. Mrs. Darling's quest led her to a mystical forest, where she encountered talking animals and magical creatures. With each step, she felt the presence of her son growing stronger. The forest whispered secrets, guiding her towards Neverland. As she ventured deeper into the woods, Mrs. Darling stumbled upon a group of lost boys. They were mischievous and wild, just like Peter. They told her tales of their adventures with Peter Pan, the boy who never grew up. Mrs. Darling's heart swelled with hope, knowing she was getting closer to finding her son. Chapter 3: The Pirate's Cove. Mrs. Darling's journey took an unexpected turn when she found herself aboard a pirate ship. Captain Hook, the notorious pirate, had captured her, mistaking her for Peter Pan. Determined to protect her son, Mrs. Darling used her wit and charm to convince Captain Hook that she was not the boy he sought. Intrigued by her bravery, Captain Hook agreed to help Mrs. Darling find Peter. Together, they sailed towards Neverland, their shared goal uniting them despite their differences. As they approached the island, Mrs. Darling's heart raced with anticipation. Chapter 4: Reunion in Neverland. Finally, Mrs. Darling arrived in Neverland, a place of enchantment and danger. She navigated treacherous jungles, crossed perilous bridges, and braved the wrath of mythical creatures. With each obstacle, her determination grew stronger, fueled by her love for Peter. One day, as the sun painted the sky with hues of gold, Mrs. Darling stumbled upon a hidden cave. Inside, she found Peter, surrounded by his loyal friends, the Lost Boys. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she embraced her long-lost son. Chapter 5: The Return Home. With Peter by her side, Mrs. Darling bid farewell to Neverland. Captain Hook, touched by their reunion, offered them safe passage back to Kensington. As they sailed away, Mrs. Darling couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude towards the pirate who had become an unlikely ally. Back in Kensington, Mrs. Darling and Peter were greeted with open arms. The town celebrated their return, and Mrs. Darling shared tales of their incredible journey. Peter, forever changed by his time in Neverland, promised to cherish his family and the adventures that awaited him in the real world. And so, the boy who never grew up and his devoted mother lived happily ever after, forever cherishing the memories of their extraordinary adventure in Neverland. Note: the novel Lost in Neverland is an adventure story that follows Peter Pan's mother as she embarks on a quest to find her son. The writing style intentionally avoids adhering to a specific style, allowing the story to flow naturally. The language used is English, ensuring accessibility to a wide range of readers. Thank you for watching our YouTube video. We hope you enjoyed it and found it entertaining. Before we wrap up, we would like to kindly ask you to support our channel by hitting the subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on our latest content. Moreover, if you enjoy our creative plot ideas and would like to stay updated with new ideas for your next creation and exclusive content, we invite you to follow us on Instagram. In addition, we encourage you to visit our website, where you can find more information about our plot ideas. Your visit would mean the world to us.